Trump will announce $8 billion in spending on a border wall with a national emergency as he signs last-minute bill avoiding another shutdown after a bitter standoff with Pelosi and other Democrats in Congress. Here's the bullet points from the Daily Mail. President will already held the event today in the Rose Garden. His approval is required to avoid another government shutdown. Trump said he was not happy with the compromise. He wanted, I think, $5.1 billion to get everything rolling, but they did not. They offered him only a fraction of that. He said he will sign a funding bill, but at the same time declare a national emergency to build his wall. Move will almost certainly draw a legal challenge. That is true. We have House Speaker Nancy Pelosi didn't rule out legal action to block Trump. She warned Republicans of the precedent it could set for the future. And see, the deal must be signed tonight to avoid another shutdown. And it looks like it has been approved overwhelmingly. So, that's been a big story of the week. And yeah, we already had the government shutdown last year into this year. We had the State of the Union, which, did it get delayed or was it almost delayed? I don't remember if it was actually on the time because they were talking about delaying it. But I think it was on time. But certainly the big contentious issue going on. And yeah, it's getting, I don't want to say it's ugly because at least they can agree not to shut the government down, but then yes, you have Trump having to declare a national emergency over something that the Democrats are obstructing on. You know, and it's hard for me to take their side, even though I was anti-wall for a very long time. But it's clear they're not doing anything to stop the immigration. And it's not. Well, we won't even really call it immigration. Just that it's an open border where people just they're coming through. And we don't do enough to deter that, and it's almost like we don't really care that much. And then they come in, they backlog the system. We don't know who they are. We've got a lot of problems with human trafficking and drugs and any number of bad things because we're sending a terrible message to everybody. Oh, yeah, we don't really care about our security. And of course, Trump is saying, "Oh, we don't have a country without borders." I mean, there's a lot of things that he's making sense on where the Democrats, they don't really have an argument, and it goes against their own philosophy from years ago. And now they're trying to, I guess, campaign on this like this is a big humanitarian issue. It doesn't make like we're just allowing refugees to come in like undocumented. It doesn't make any sense why this is a thing. This should not happen. They shouldn't be just bringing in caravans of people and we're not doing enough to stop it. And they don't have any other solutions. So much as I hate the idea of a wall, it seems like a necessary evil at this time. And just give them the $5 billion. This didn't have to be a problem. And all these federal workers, I'm not saying we need to scale down the government, but you know, it was a drop in the bucket compared to the rest of the budget. And this is something that the Border Patrol wants. I mean, this is, you know, just put it in some of the tougher areas. We see how it goes. $5 billion, who cares? And yeah, but I mean, he's made a good point. He made a big speech in El Paso where they've built a wall, you know, across of Juarez, and now they've seen their crime drop dramatically. So they make a good case. So why not just throw $5 million, see what happens, and then we know going forward.
$5 billion, I think you said million.
Maybe.
Whatever the case.
With a B.
With a B. I concur. You know, you got to check the ID of the people that walk into your nightclub. Can I see your ID, please? The cover's $10. I don't want people sneaking in the back door. I don't care what reason. Oh, it's a humanitarian need. I was sober and I wanted to have a couple drinks. I'm sorry, it doesn't. And I know I'm making, you know, light of real life and death circumstances when it comes to people fleeing bad situations. All right, that's fine. Then go to the front door with those concerns. Don't try to sneak in the back door with it. You know, make big, beautiful doors, many of them, and just come on in. Let's sort this out. What's going on here? And build your facilities on the other side of the wall. Make that country responsible for what's happening there. We're supposed to be teammates here. Whatever's happening, we're supposed to share a border. We're neighbors. We don't have to love each other, but we shouldn't hate each other.
The good people, we want them to come in, you work, you make some extra money, you bring it home, you go back and forth on your visa, and then until we establish, hey, this guy, these people they're good, they're hardworking, they're learning the language, they're embracing the culture. Yeah, let's keep you permanently. That's the way it's supposed to work. But instead, it's just like, just come on in. I mean, just sneak on in, and then we'll just deal with the consequences later. But the problem is the court system is so jammed. It's years behind, and the people don't show up. It's just it's an open joke, and everybody knows it.
Exactly. President Trump said, and they'll probably end up going to the Ninth Circuit, who's probably going to strike it down. Then it's probably going to go up to the Supreme Court, and then they might give us a favorable ruling. It's just like, okay, here's the game. Here's what's going to happen. First this, then that, then the third, then the fifth, and here you go. Bang. Okay, so let's go. Start it. Figure it out. And you're right. The fact that this even turned into any sort of divisive issue, it's just nonsense.